States of emergency in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Multiple deaths reported as the remnants of Ida merged with the front to produce chaos.
There will be many more scary effects of climate change that continue to affect us in the coming years. From major starvation to more frequent major storms and obvious rising temperatures, just to name a few things. Things will get scary, but before they get scary, we have an amazing sponsor that is committed to doing its part along with us here at Most Amazing to help fight the fight against climate change. Hey everyone, Dewey Stewart back with another video all about climate change today, but before we get to it, let's talk about our amazing sponsor, Ren.com. Ren.com is a website where you can calculate your own carbon footprint and then offset it by helping fund projects that plant trees and help save our planet's rainforests. Now, how awesome is that? All you have to do is answer a few questions about your lifestyle, and Ren.com will then calculate your carbon footprint and then give you strategies on how to reduce it. Before I say any more, none of us can reduce our carbon emissions to zero, but we can help offset the emissions that we do create. Once you sign up for your monthly contribution, Ren.com will send you monthly updates from the projects you support. You will actually get to see where your trees are planted and where your money is being spent. You get the hard proof. Now, it's going to take all of us to stop the climate crisis, and you can start fighting back now and helping out at Ren.com today. Need any more incentive? Well, right now, Most Amazing Top 10 has partnered with Ren.com to protect 5 extra acres of rainforest for the first 100 people who sign up using our referral link. Check it out in the video description as well as the pinned comment down below. Now, if we still need some reasons to join in the climate change fight, here are 10 more, because today we are counting down the top 10 cities that will be underwater soon due to climate change. Now let's get to it. Starting us off in our number 10 spot is Jakarta, Indonesia. It is reported that most of the city could be underwater by the year 2050. That's in most of our lifetimes. It is currently sinking up to 6.7 inches a year already due to excessive groundwater pumping. This ain't good either, because it can create a change in pressure and volume that causes the land to sink. Now, on top of that, with the rising oceans, this city is right next to the Java Sea, and it won't take much rising for this city to go underwater. This one is truly tragic, as it doesn't just have to worry about rising sea levels, but also sinking land. Jakarta is home to 10 million people, and just recently the Indonesian government approved a plan to move the city residents 100 miles away on the island of Java so that they can protect their people. This move, however, will cost around $33 billion and can take up to 10 years. So with it being 2031 in 10 more years, I hope they already have it started, and we gotta get going right away. Coming in at our number 9 spot, we have Dhaka, Bangladesh. One statistic that I found while looking up this one is that Bangladesh is actually responsible for 0.3% emissions that contribute to climate change. The capital city, Dhaka, is home to 8.9 million people, and many of them could be displaced by rising oceans as early as 2050. According to the New York Times, the country is facing some of the biggest consequences due to the rising oceans. Oceans could flood 17% of the country's land by 2050, and that would affect 18 million residents in total. The city of Dhaka and the country of Bangladesh have already fought with dangerous floods many times, with residents relocating multiple times and anything you can think of. But they cannot keep doing this. These floods and continuous water logging will make it nearly impossible to farm. It is also predicted that by the end of the century, the sea levels are expected to increase by a full 1.5 meters. Now, that might not be much over an extended period of time, but that's the projections as of right now. If things continue to go south, who knows what that projection could be soon. Coming in at number 8 is Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos is Africa's largest city with a population of 21,320,000 people. Holy shnikes. As of right now, Lagos' low coastline is continuing to erode and will only erode faster with the rising sea levels in the ocean. A study that was completed back in 2012 at the University of Plymouth concluded that a sea level increase of 3 to 9 feet could have catastrophic effects on the large city. Now, notice how I only said could and if. Well, as of right now, it is expected that the global sea levels will actually rise around 6.6 feet by the end of the century. In case it wasn't obvious, that's right in the middle of the 3 to 9 feet range. Just like Indonesia, it would take years and billions of dollars to bring this amount of people to safety, but also, we can't keep relocating people. We need to tackle this fight head on. Coming in at number 7, we have Bangkok, Thailand. This one really hurts my heart, as this is one of the places I want to visit the most on my bucket list, and I also have a good friend who has been to Thailand many times and has said it is her favorite place on earth. So let's protect it. But first, just to give you that initiative, is that it is reported that Bangkok is sinking at a rate of more than 1 centimeter a year. Once again, it doesn't seem like much, but it could be below sea level as early as the year 2030, according to The Guardian. They could really use some help, but thankfully an architecture company in Bangkok recently recently built an 11-acre park that can hold up to 1 million gallons of rainwater and help fight the immediate floods that the city is and will continue to face. Once again, this is only a band-aid solution, and this fight needs to start at the very heart of it all: climate change. Coming in at our number 6 spot, we have Rotterdam in the Netherlands. If you have never seen pictures of this amazing city, look them up. This city offers breathtaking city skylines, beautiful night views, and just amazing sights to see all around. But we might not get to see them much longer. According to the New York Times, 90% of the city of Rotterdam is below sea level already. But just like Bangkok, this city has also made these huge water storage parks to help with the flooding, as well as named the initiative to stop the flooding, which is called Room for the River. It is fairly straightforward, but instead of making room for the river, how about we fix the flooding and rename it to less gorging of the river? Just like us humans, no water bodies like to be overfilled either. Another close tie for me is that I have many friends from this area of the world too, and I know just how much it means to them. We are all connected in one way or another, and when we choose to help each other, no matter how big or how small, it really can make a difference. Coming in at our halfway point at number 5, we have Venice, Italy, another absolutely gorgeous place and another one on my bucket list. I have actually even have some of my own family there as well in Venice. Italy is in trouble. Currently, Venice is sinking at a rate of 0.8 inches a year. Now, Italy did begin building a flood barrier made up of 78 gates across 3 inlets back in 2003, but this barrier was supposed to be finished back in 2011, but it is now not expected to be finished until next year in 2022. That's 11 years later. Even these band-aid solutions take time, people, and if we are going to spend this much time on a solution, why don't we spend time on solutions that will actually make a difference and matter in the long run and, over time? Don't get me wrong, anything helps, but it's time to look at this seriously. Back in 2018, there were a series of storms that hit the city so badly, and the $6.5 billion project I was just telling you about was obviously not finished yet. It was the worst flooding the city had seen in over a decade. I know they use gondolas quite often in that city, but let's not make it their only mode of transportation. Coming in at number 4, we have New Orleans, USA. I am sure many of you have heard or remember Hurricane Katrina. I remember it when it happened, and it was one of the most devastating natural disasters in history. Now, New Orleans never really saw the end to any of those terrible effects of Katrina, and to top it all off, it is still seeing some really harsh effects of climate change too. New Orleans is currently sinking at a rate of 2 inches per year and could be fully underwater by the year 2100, according to a 2016 NASA study. One of the other major worries is that parts of New Orleans is already 15 feet below sea level, with its location being on the Delta River. This increases its risk of sea levels rising even more. Not only is this one worrisome, but it also is much closer to home here in North America too. But sadly, it doesn't end here, as the next 3 are all in North America, folks. Starting us off in our top 3 at number 3, we have Houston, Texas. Just like Jakarta, Indonesia, parts of Houston are sinking rapidly due to excessive groundwater pumping. It can't be that bad though, can it? Well, yeah. It's sinking at a rate of 2 inches per year, which could lead to a rise in sea levels of meters within our lifetime. Houston is home to 2.3 million people, and the more it sinks, the more vulnerable it becomes to frequent natural disasters such as Hurricane Harvey. Harvey damaged 135,000 homes and displaced around 30,000 people. Now, those are numbers that are a lot smaller than the numbers we have seen from our friends across the world, but that doesn't mean it's any less significant. Because as I said earlier, it's not only Houston that we will have to worry about. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have Miami, Florida. This one really sucks, as I know maybe a fair chunk of you watching are from Florida, or maybe you're a snowbird from Canada who likes to escape to Florida in the winters to get away from the gross cold we have here. But either way, this one really sucks. Environmental author Jeff Goodall told Business Insider that there's virtually no scenario under which you can imagine Miami existing at the end of the century. He also claimed it being as the poster child for a major city being in big trouble. Miami's sea levels are rising faster than other areas of the world, and it's resulting in obvious floods, contaminated drinking water, and major water damage to homes and roads. They may soon just have to raise all of its structures just to stay above water. Now, Miami is home to just over 450,000 people. They would have to raise all of those structures, and I don't even want to imagine expensive or how long that would even take. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have the Big Apple, New York City. Do we really need to say anymore? If any of you have watched the news over the past couple of weeks, you have seen all of the footage of NYC being basically underwater. From cars driving in water of 5 feet, to people's homes flooding, to swimming rats, to subway tracks and cars being completely downpoured on, it's safe to say that this is a really big issue. This all came after the events of Hurricane Ida, and aside from natural disasters that can continue to flood the city, the entire city is also surrounded by water. It sits right at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. If you add rising sea levels on top of major storms like Ida, it's safe to say New York is gonna be gone. And for me, this one hits home the most because I have visited NYC a couple of times and I freaking love it there. It also happens to be the closest to our home up here in Canada, and it's only a matter of time before we see the effects of all these floods and sea levels rising right here as well. well. Anyway, there you have it, folks. That has been our top 10 cities that will be underwater soon due to climate change. Now, okay, please, just a reminder that I say in all of my videos, let's not BS ourselves here, guys. Climate change is scary, but it's not an impossible fight either. Yes, the planet will go through its natural cycles, but we can do our best to live with Mother Earth instead of going against Mother Earth. Be more environmentally friendly in any way that you can, and if you are really at a loss, don't forget about our awesome sponsor, Ren.com. They can get you started. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, I have been your host, Dewey Stewart, and I will see you all back here very soon. And to all of you awesome viewers all around the world, stay kind, my friends. Bye-bye.